A girl's world. It would be irresponsible for us to ignore the statistics, even if we are not convinced they are true. So in line with the belief that adolescent girls actually do experience depression more than boys, there are some interesting thoughts about why this might be. As discussed earlier, some people believe that it has to do with the way girls are socialized. Girls tend to put more value on their personal relationships, and when those go bad, they are deeply affected. Girls also tend to blame themselves when things go wrong, whereas boys don't take things so personally. These traits put girls at higher risk of being depressed because they are more likely to internalize their anger and have negative thoughts about themselves. There is also some thoughts that there might be more connection between female hormones and depression. Before puberty, the rates of depression are fairly equal between boys and girls. As mentioned before, the rates of depression is slightly higher in boys. Once puberty hits, the rates almost double for girls. Related to this, people have also noticed that as the age of puberty decreases, girls are getting their periods and going through puberty much earlier than in previous generations. The rates of depression in adolescence are increasing. This means that girls are developing both their bodies and their depression at younger ages than in previous generations. Serotonin and gender. As described in Chapter 2, serotonin is a hormone which we all have that affects our mood. It has been discovered that women synthesize serotonin. Wow, I cannot talk. Get over here. Serotonin 50% slower than men. This may account in part for the higher rates of depression in adolescent girls and women. A man may have extra protection against depression because he naturally has higher levels of serotonin in his brain. Here are some other things that might put girls at higher risk of getting depressed. Body changes. When boys go through puberty, they become muscular and taller. When girls go through puberty, their bodies become curvy and they develop more body fat. They lose that skinny little girl they once knew, the one who looked so much like the models in all the magazines. A girl's perception of herself in a world that values thinness as beauty may become negative if she doesn't meet those social standards. Independence. Many parents tend to let their sons have more independence than their daughters, and because of this, boys may be more willing to take risks and become more experienced at handling the world around them. Girls often don't have this experience, so venturing out into the world can be more stressful for them. Sexual abuse. Girls are more likely to be victims of sexual abuse, and the fear of this happening can be really intimidating for any young woman. This can impact how a girl views the world and may not make her feel insecure. The way girls are socialized may make them susceptible to depression, but those same qualities may also make their recovery easier. Being able to acknowledge and talk about how you feel can make dealing with it a lot easier. Boys often feel they have to handle their depression themselves in order to be the strong men that the world expects them to be. I think it's definitely way easier to be depressed if you are a girl than a guy, because to become not depressed is by realizing that you are depressed. That's the only way you'll be able to change things in your life. Guys, though, are discouraged from talking about their feelings and all that. They don't want to talk about it. They don't even know they're depressed. Season 19.